Field Report 7741B, Xenobiologist Crix 9 recording from the observation deck of Research Station Omega Prime. Day 14 of monitoring the primitive world designated as Sol 3, or as its inhabitants call it. Earth, you know what? Let me start over. Because what I witnessed today has turned everything we thought we knew about humans completely upside down. And trust me, after 30 cycles studying these bipedal mammals, I thought I had seen it all. The morning started like any other. Our long-range scanners had detected a small human settlement nestled in what they call the Canadian wilderness. Standard protocol, you understand. Drop a few observation drones, catalog the local fauna, document human behavioral patterns. Simple stuff. Boring stuff, really. The settlement consisted of maybe 20 structures. Wood and metal constructions that humans seem to favor when they want to pretend they are still connected to nature. How quaint. In the center of this little outpost lived a family unit. 2 adult humans, male and female, and 1 juvenile female approximately 6 standard years old. Now here's where it gets interesting, and by interesting, I mean terrifying. The juvenile, designation Lima 7. No wait, they called her Maya. Maya Blackstone. She had developed what humans call wanderlust. Every morning, without fail, this tiny creature would slip away from her guardians and venture into the surrounding forest. Alone. Can you believe it? On any civilized world, sending a juvenile into untamed wilderness would be considered criminal negligence. But apparently, humans consider this normal behavior. They call it playing outside. Playing. As if the forest is some sort of recreational facility instead of a death trap filled with predators. Speaking of predators, let me tell you about the apex hunter of this particular ecosystem. Ursus arctos. The locals call them grizzly bears. 3 meters tall when standing upright. 400 kilograms of muscle, fur, and attitude. Claws that can rip through tree bark like tissue paper. Teeth designed for crushing bone. These creatures are walking death machines, and they rule this forest absolutely. So naturally, on day 14 of our observation, guess who Maya encountered during her morning expedition? That's right. A fully grown male grizzly bear, nearly choked on my nutrition paste when the drone footage came in. There she was, this impossibly small human child, barely reaching the creature's shoulder height, standing face to face with certain doom. The bear had emerged from the tree line while Maya was collecting what humans call wildflowers. Because apparently, picking random vegetation is another normal juvenile human activity, the standoff lasted exactly 4.7 seconds. Then the bear did something that defied every behavioral model in our database. It sat down, not in an aggressive posture. Not preparing to charge. It simply sat. Like an obedient domestic creature waiting for instructions. The child, showing either incredible bravery or complete stupidity, walked directly up to the massive predator and began speaking to it in that high-pitched vocalization humans call baby talk. "Hello there, big guy," she chirped, reaching out one tiny hand toward the bear's enormous snout. "Aren't you just the prettiest thing?" I kid you not, the bear leaned forward and allowed her to pat its nose. This is where the story takes a turn that will haunt my dreams for cycles to come. The bear stood up, looked around the clearing, and then bounded away into the forest. Maya continued picking flowers as if nothing extraordinary had happened. Just another normal day for this insane species. 20 minutes later, the bear returned. And it brought friends. 3 rabbits. 2 squirrels. A family of raccoons. All following behind this apex predator like he was leading some sort of woodland parade. The bear dropped the rabbits gently at Maya's feet, not harmed, just delivered. The other animals began arranging themselves in a circle around the child. Maya clapped her hands in delight. "Oh, you brought me visitors. How wonderful." The bear made a sound that our audio analysis software classified as contentment. Contentment. From a creature that should have been viewing this child as a convenient snack. But wait, it gets better. The bear then disappeared again, returning this time with berries. Fresh fish from a nearby stream. Even some honey he had somehow procured without getting stung to death by the local bee population. He arranged these offerings around Maya like she was some sort of forest deity receiving tribute. The child thanked each animal individually, shared the berries with her new friends, and spent the next 2 hours having what she called a tea party. With a grizzly bear. And assorted woodland creatures. In the middle of an untamed wilderness, when her human guardians finally located her using tracking devices, they found Maya braiding flowers into the bear's fur while he lay perfectly still, apparently enjoying the attention. The other animals had formed a protective perimeter around them both. The adult humans showed no surprise at this scene. None whatsoever. The male guardian simply called out, "Maya, time for lunch." The female added, "Tell your friends goodbye." Maya hugged each animal, including the massive predator, and skipped back toward the settlement. The bear watched her go, then rounded up the other animals and escorted them safely back into the forest. As our drones followed the family home, I heard the female guardian say to her mate, "Same time tomorrow, I suppose." Same time tomorrow. As if interdimensional weirdness was just part of their daily routine. Field Report 7741B, end of first observation cycle. Requesting immediate consultation with the Department of Impossible Things. Something is very, very wrong with these humans, or very, very right. Field Report 7741C, Xenobiologist CRIX9 recording. Day 28 of the Impossible Human Study. Status update. I have officially lost my sanity. After 2 weeks of daily observations, I can confirm that Maya Blackstone has somehow transformed the entire forest ecosystem into her personal protection detail. And I mean the entire ecosystem. Yesterday morning started with the usual routine. Maya slipped away from her guardians at exactly 0800 hours, skipped through the tree line humming some human melody, and arrived at her designated clearing. The grizzly bear, who I have decided to call Big Ted because apparently I am losing all scientific objectivity, was waiting for her with breakfast. Fresh salmon, perfectly deboned. Because apparently, apex predators now moonlight as personal chefs, but here is where things escalate from merely impossible to absolutely ridiculous. A pack of wolves emerged from the northern ridge. 6 fully grown Canis lupus, moving in standard hunting formation. My threat assessment protocols immediately activated. These were not Big Ted's woodland tea party friends. These were serious predators with serious intentions. Maya spotted them first. Did she run? Did she scream? Did she show any normal survival instincts whatsoever? No. She waved. "Oh, hello there," she called out cheerfully. "Are you here to meet Big Ted? He is absolutely wonderful." The alpha wolf, a massive gray male with scars across his muzzle, locked eyes with Maya and began advancing. This was it, I thought. This was where human stupidity finally met natural selection. I actually started composing the incident report in my head, then Big Ted stood up. What happened next will be talked about in xenobiology departments for centuries. The grizzly bear and the wolf pack alpha engaged in what can only be described as a staring contest. No growling. No posturing. Just 2 apex predators having what appeared to be a very serious conversation through eye contact alone. The wolf looked at Maya. Looked back at Big Ted. Tilted his head slightly to the right. Big Ted nodded once, slowly, then gestured toward the child with his massive paw. I swear on my ancestors' tentacles, that bear just gave the wolf pack a formal introduction to Maya Blackstone. The alpha wolf approached the child cautiously, sniffed her extended hand, and then did something that broke every behavioral model in our database. He lowered his head and allowed her to scratch behind his ears. "Oh, you are just beautiful," Maya exclaimed. "What a good boy you are." Good boy. She called a wild wolf pack leader a good boy. And he wagged his tail. Within minutes, Maya had 6 wolves, 1 grizzly bear, yesterday's collection of small mammals, and 3 new additions, a family of foxes, all arranged in what she called story circle. She proceeded to tell them all about her favorite human fairy tale involving 3 bears and a girl named Goldilocks. The irony was not lost on me, but wait, because this madness has layers. Around midday, our thermal scanners detected movement from the sky. A golden eagle, wingspan nearly 2 meters, circled overhead. These birds are notorious for attacking anything they perceive as a threat to their territory. They have been known to drive off much larger predators through sheer aggressive persistence. The eagle descended rapidly, talons extended, heading straight for Maya. Every predator in that clearing tensed simultaneously. Big Ted rose to his hind legs. The wolf pack formed a defensive formation. Even the rabbits looked ready to fight. The eagle landed gently on Maya's outstretched arm. Of course it did. "Well, hello there, pretty bird," Maya said, stroking the eagle's feathers. "Would you like to join our party?" The eagle, apparently deciding that yes, it would very much like to join the party, perched on a nearby branch and settled in to listen to the rest of Goldilocks. This is when I started questioning everything I thought I knew about predator behavior, human evolution, and possibly the fundamental nature of reality itself. But the real revelation came when Maya's guardians arrived to collect her. As usual, they showed no surprise at the scene. But this time, I was ready with enhanced audio recording equipment. "How does she do it?" the male guardian asked his mate quietly. "Same way her grandmother did," the female replied. "Same way her great-grandmother did. It runs in the family." "Think she knows yet?" "Not consciously. But they always know on some level. The animals sense it first. They know. The adult humans know exactly what is happening, and they treat it like some sort of hereditary trait. Like having blue eyes or brown hair. Except instead of physical characteristics, this family apparently passes down the supernatural ability to befriend apex predators. As I compile this final report, I have reached one inescapable conclusion. Humans are not the primitive species we believe them to be. They are something far more dangerous than claws or fangs or venom. They are weaponized empathy given bipedal form. They walk into hostile environments and transform enemies into allies through nothing more than genuine kindness and complete fearlessness. This species has somehow evolved past the need for traditional survival instincts. They have transcended the basic predator-prey relationship that governs every other life form in the galaxy. A human child can walk naked and defenseless into any ecosystem and emerge with an army of devoted guardians. Oh, you understand what this means for galactic security? If humans can turn grizzly bears and wolf packs into protective companions through the power of friendship, what exactly do you think they could do to our invasion fleets? I am recommending immediate reclassification of humans from primitive species to potential galactic threat level Omega. Not because they have superior technology or military might, but because they have something far more terrifying. They have the ability to make you want to protect them. Field Report 7741C concluded. Requesting immediate transfer to a nice, safe, boring desk job studying space rocks. Crix 9 out.